leaves Boston's Logan International Airport.
We have a problem here. We have a hijacked aircraft headed towards New York, and we need you guys we need someone to scramble some F-16s or something up there to help us out.
Is this real world or exercise?
No, this is not an exercise, not a pass.
At 8:46, a Boeing 767 slammed into the North Tower. It was carrying around 10,000 gallons of jet fuel.
I watched it. I seen it go. Wow. I heard the boom. See, I thought as soon as it happened, I said, was it terrorists? Because the fire department been waiting there. Like they've been waiting for them to come in. And I said, what is the fire department just sitting there for? That's what I'm thinking. Is it a conspiracy? And I heard boom.
Straight away, the emergency operations plan was put into action, and police, fire, health and other teams were called to Tower 7.
Holy shit!
A second Boeing 767 laden with jet fuel hit the South Tower. 2 more planes had been hijacked, and the order was given to evacuate civilians from Tower 7.
Well, police department and Intel and FBI, they would tell us, yeah, we had a plane hit us in the Pentagon, and we now realize, it'll take too long to realize we were under attack.
What building would be attacked next? Tower 7?
They could have been a target. I felt at the time, because of where we were, could have been a serious target, and plus the other federal agencies in that building.
In an emergency, we were supposed to go and huddle and plan and strategize with Mayor Giuliani in the Emergency Management Center on the 23rd floor. I mean, that was the plan.
But the decision is taken to evacuate the very office designed to respond to a terrorist attack. But not everyone leaves. Unaware of the evacuation order, 2 city officials head up to the 23rd floor. They are about to be trapped inside a building on the verge of destruction. They have become key witnesses in the controversy over what really happened inside Tower 7.
I didn't realize, and maybe that's a good thing, I didn't realize how close I was to death.
Everyone had been evacuated, except the 2 of us who actually made the huge error of going back into the building and upstairs.
When Barry Jennings reaches the Office of Emergency Management, he's shocked.
To my amazement, nobody's there. I saw coffee that was still hot, it was still smoldering. They had screens all over the place. The screens were blank. So I didn't know what was going on. At that time, I received a phone call from one of my higher-ups. And he said, "Where are you?" And I said, "You know, the Emergency Command Center." A long pause. And then he came back and said, "Get out of there now."
At 9:59, the 1,300-foot South Tower collapses. Debris and dust are thrown over a huge area, and Tower 7 doesn't escape. These are some of the only pictures of Building 7 at that moment. Just over a minute later, the fire alarm in Tower 7 is triggered, but because it's on test, there's no information about where the fires are.
Did the side of the building come down?
Something fell. What you see?
It was pretty clear at one point, and then there's a whole bunch of smoke and glass. And I think we're just about the last ones in this building right now. I think you should leave. Everybody else is gone.
I wanted to get out of that building in a hurry. So I started, instead of taking one step at a time, I'm jumping landings. When I reached down to the 6th floor, there was this eerie sound. The whole building went dark.
A great deal of smoke came into the stairway. The sprinklers went on. I hit a wall, and I was ahead of Barry, and the building started to shake.
At 10:28, the North Tower collapses in just 11 seconds. This time, Tower 7 takes a direct hit from the collapsing building. According to the official account, this is the start of a chain of events that will ultimately lead to the collapse of Tower 7. The World Trade Center complex in the heart of downtown Manhattan contains 7 buildings occupied by many of the world's leading financial companies. The Twin Towers rose above the site more than 1,300 feet tall. Tower 7 was 610 feet tall and just 350 feet away from the North Tower. As the North Tower collapsed, debris hit Tower 7 and fires were immediately reported in the building. Early evidence of explosives, or just debris from a falling skyscraper. Barry Jennings and Michael Hess were still trapped inside on the 8th floor.
Outside these big glass windows, the wind was blowing, papers and ash were flying all over the place, and it was just like the end of the world.
They heard sounds that unnerved them, sounds interpreted by others as evidence of explosives.
The building began to shake, and it was as if you were in an earthquake. I've never really been in an earthquake, but it's what it felt like. The whole building was shaking.
The first explosion I heard when I was on the stairwell landing, when we made it down to the 6th floor. Then we made it back to the 8th floor, I heard some more explosions. You know,
What's the sound?
like a boom, like an explosion.
And more than one?
Yes.
It's 7 years on from 9/11, and we finally have the official explanation. Dr. Shyam Sundar led a team of more than 50 investigators. It took 3 years of extensive research and cost millions of dollars. But they are confident the last mystery of 9/11 has been solved.
Our science shows us in great certainty that it was fires that caused the collapse of Building 7. We know that it wasn't intentional demolition that caused the building to collapse. What we now know is that it was fires that primarily caused the building to collapse.
Every year, more police stations.
But this has not silenced the critics.
Wake up! Don't be afraid! Wake up!
For these protesters at Ground Zero on the anniversary of 9/11, this new report is further evidence of an official cover-up. Leading the calls for a new investigation is a group called Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth. They question the official explanation and refuse to accept its findings. Richard Gage is a member of the American Institute of Architects. He's been an architect in California for 20 years. He set up the group, which now has around 500 professionals from around the world.
No steel frame high-rise building has ever collapsed due to fire, and we have over 100 examples from which to choose.
In 1991, a fire in a Philadelphia skyscraper raged for 18 hours, but it didn't collapse. In 2005, a 32-story building in Madrid burned for a whole day. There was a partial collapse, but the building remained standing. Tower 7 burned for 7 hours.
The Madrid building burned for 24 hours. My understanding is that the steel around the perimeter was not fireproofed. In Building 7, we have a completely fireproofed building to 2 and 3 hours.
What's more, a series of experiments were carried out in these giant hangars in Cardington, Bedfordshire in the mid-1990s. They showed that steel buildings were more robust than previously thought.
The Cardington tests in the UK were exemplary in that the steel did not collapse as a result of these tests.
A purpose-built 8-story steel building was set on fire. For a short time, the steel reached temperatures of more than 1,000 degrees centigrade, far hotter than in Tower 7. Ceiling beams did sag, but no collapse was observed in any of the 6 experiments.
I'm deeply